So yeah, we'll leave it there. Just wanted to go over to this next thing. I want to talk about the NBA. So um, I was wondering, I was like, man, what could I say about the NBA if someone was like, what are five things that you like about the NBA right now, or five things that you're following, five things that, um, that you like that is going on in the league. The NBA has been taking a beating this week. Some of it self imposed, but there's
This week or last week?
this week, last week, any other week. This just it just seems like it's a
Okay.
it's a thing here. So I'll go first. So I think I kind of got to start with the Luka Doncic trade. I think this is very intriguing, regardless of how many people have tried to explain that this shouldn't have happened and all that. I kind of feel like teams should be able to kind of run, their teams like and try to make the best moves they can that they see, even if it feels
They
like
didn't do that.
look,
They didn't do that.
look,
They didn't do that.
the best way they think works for them. That's what I'm saying. So like they think if they think this is the way, we should let them do that. And you know,
Yeah, if a franchise wants to smoke crack, who's to tell us not to? Because they pay their rent. All right, sure, fine.
if a anytime a 25-year-old franchise player wants to land on a Los Angeles Lakers, doorstep, who am I to turn him away?
I didn't say turn it down, but also be like, hey man, that was really dumb. What are you doing?
So I'm into that. Yeah, James, what's up? You're into?
Oh, my number one is the Lakers. It's not necessarily the Luka Doncic trade. It's the Reeves Luka LeBron thing. Like it is better than. Look, I thought it was gonna work. People that I don't know why people do this. Like LeBron's been on like a million different teams, and even within seasons, and they've all been relatively successful because he's the second greatest basketball player of all time at worst. So like, people were like, "How is this going to work?" or whatever else. There's only one ball. It's like, so he's playing with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, and there was only one ball, and that was successful. He's played with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, and there's only one ball, and it was successful. He's played with like what I don't. I think people think like there is James only played one way of basketball, and it's like that denies like the part where like if you go to his '07 finals run and watch how he played against the Pistons, and then you watch how he played in like 2018, they look nothing a fucking like. So for me, it was like, yeah, I think I said on the show, it's like they're gonna work together perfectly because it's like they're two of the greatest playmakers and passers in the history of the sport, and like they now have more space than they ever had before, and like they can then feed off each other because like there's only you barely ever have one person that can make it tough for one of them. You never have a team that has two people that can guard them. And because of like coaching and plays or whatever else, they'll be able to create mismatch everywhere and they'll be a great offensive team. And I thought like the only thing that's gonna stop them is obviously lack of size in defense because of LeBron's age and Luka's not being a defensive player. And so far, they've been better offense than I even thought they were going to be. Like Reeves, um, people thought that Reeves shit was a fluke. And me and you all came to the same conclusion. Like, yo, he's actually a legitimate NBA player. He's actually fucking good. And like,
Look, that
he
Lakers
keeps
scouting
getting better,
department strikes again.
and he keeps getting better, right? So, like for me,
Find these undervalued assets, James.
though, right. So for me, those three plus whatever shooter they put out, whether it's Smith or whatever else, like they are going to be a monster offensively, especially like as Luka like rounds into like being able to play more. They're going to be like a fantastic watch because like it quite honestly feels like LeBron has like a new lease on life. Like last time I felt like he felt rejuvenated this way was like that one year when the year they made the last Cleveland year was like the Isaiah Thomas trade happened, like, and he's out here with a bum knee, and like LeBron's kind of like his numbers look fine or whatever else, but like you can kind of tell like it don't like he ain't too enthusiastic, and all of a sudden you find out like about a week before that trade happens when they get those new guys like Larry Nance, whatever else. Like he found out a trade was coming, all of a sudden he starts like playing. He cranks it up like him. Like open court LeBron is back in a way to like we hadn't really seen that in the last couple years or whatever, or pretty much just Westbrook, because it's like, well, Westbrook is a good half court passer, find the obvious guy, but he's not like a throw someone open person necessarily. And Luka is like oh, it's kind of like the Kevin Love stuff. It's kind of like the Wade stuff in a way too. It's like finding LeBron for easy buckets and let him just run the open floor in a way that like LeBron kind of always wanted to do with another guy having the ball, but like it was Kyrie. So Kyrie's not like built to be that kind of point guard. He's a scorer first, and like he always wanted another person to take this responsibility, and that's why the Westbrook trade happened. But like he never found the right person. And he was like, all right, end of the game. I don't have to be the person to control everything because this person can do it and I can figure out other stuff. Now it's like, all right, I got that person and I can just run the open floor and set screens and sit in the corner and
there's no Anthony Davis in the way.
I wouldn't say Anthony Davis in the way. I would say like there's an extra shooters, more spacing. Like the Anthony Davis that we saw in 2020, like that was Anthony Davis I thought we were going to get for the rest of his career, and ultimately, like, nah, he just went back to being he became a worse shooter than he ever was before. Like, it makes no sense. Like he was developing a 3-point shot, got the 3-point shot on fire in 2020, and then like he proceeded to like regress in a way to like what happened. It'd be like if Blake Griffin, remember Blake Griffin when his first few years, like it's like he had no jumper outside of 12 feet, and all of a sudden like he gets to Detroit, and all of a sudden, like, he starts shooting threes. It's like, oh, he just went back to, like, he can't make a basket outside the paint. It's like, it was weird what happened with his shooting ability.
I feel like he just caught fire in an open gym tournament for a couple weeks. And then went back to normal.
But the thing, no, it didn't go back to normal. It got worse. I'm talking about even like his last couple years with, like, Cousins and Rondo, he was a way better shooter, 3-point shooter, seemingly, than he had been like post the bubble. Like he just completely regressed. And so yeah, man, like it was just weird, like watching that, like just the part where it's like non-shooter big, which is he's still a great player at even with that because he's such an incredible finisher. But it's like paired with the Westbrook part with him being on the floor, he's a non-commodity as a spacer, and like their offense always so just it never had easy buckets. He's never had easy buckets. And now you get easy buckets and open shots, and it's like, this is what having LeBron James and two quality shooters or / no, non-spacers on the floor have always been. And then like it was weird, like the Westbrook years was like we finally got something that wasn't that for the first time since like 2000, before we ever went to space and pace. So like before like he was ever Miami Heat. We went back to like the 2010 offense with LeBron, and he's older now, so he can't get to the rim and finish like he used to. It's like everything looks hard. I used to watch these Lakers games in the last few years, but like everything looks hard for them, except for like, especially in the Westbrook time. Now it's like everything looks easy now. It looks and LeBron looks like he's loving life. He looks super happy. So I'm enjoying that. And they put the beat down on the Nuggets. Like obviously that's one game, but like we'll see like this next couple weeks. Their schedule was actually like they play a bunch of teams now the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun to see like how real this team can be as like as a fun watch. I don't think they can win the title as a fun watch, and then like if they can find the right piece next year, can they be actual title contender if they can find a big worth a damn.
It's funny you bring up Russell Westbrook because the next thing for me was how long can Russell Westbrook survive in this league? It seems like he's the man with 9 lives. You always think his career is ending or whatever, but he just finds a way to hang on one more year. A league that largely like has legislated his play style out of it. He's a short guard who can't shoot, who is an open court wizard kind of, but he's playing in half court a lot. And he's kind of found a way to play with Nikola Jokic, because who can't play with Nikola Jokic?
I mean, they've also made concessions around like that style to make it work. Like Aaron Gordon is now a 3-point shooter. Like they just pulled that out of the fly. Like remember when Bosch all of a sudden came back from that injury in the playoffs and all of a sudden he's a shoot 3-point shooter? Like all of a sudden it's like, oh well, we can't really space with Westbrook out there. Oh, Aaron, you go out to the corner now. And you knock down wide open threes. Like that's how they made that's their concessions around making the Westbrook thing work.
Yeah. So, just a guy I've always liked, and how long can he hold on? Can he steal a championship before his career ends? So
he should get props for the part where like the Murray thing was really where their season's gonna went down to shit once Murray got hurt, and he, like we always talk about, like he, since 2020, like he had slow starts to the year and looked bad at the beginning, and then he turned up like every single. We need to start betting on this. I wonder if you could like take advantage of like, all right, we're gonna bet the unders on this nigga Westbrook every year until Christmas, and then we'll start betting the overs.
Take off.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's he should be commended for that.
Something else for you?
So for me, Karl-Anthony Towns, like I've had this joke saved for a while, but it's like when that trade happened, I know a lot of people were like, yeah, that's like a even trade. I was like, nah, man, like the shooting the shooting in shot blocking he creates is like something that Randall just doesn't have. And I was like, it's not necessarily like, yes, I think the Knicks got better. I don't think they're contender because I think the Celtics are just loaded. But like the main thing is like I think the Timberwolves are done and they look kind of done. The thing for me was like I did not know or appreciate like how much like the city was going to take to him, and like because I thought like that's a place where if it goes wrong they gonna eat him alive or whatever else, and it hasn't happened, at least not yet. But one thing I should have known was like
he's a local.
I didn't know he was local, but I was gonna say this: like, I now feel foolish. Like, why in the world did I think that a Dominican wasn't gonna flourish in New York City? I thought he was gonna do well. I didn't think he was gonna be like, yeah, leading vote getter and shit for front court. Like, I don't want to spend that. Yeah, but so yeah, man, I've enjoyed that, and like. He's up there in rebounds, and it's, his whole career, people like Bomani gave him shit for not, being quote unquote soft. Is like, that wasn't his role. His role was space of 4-4, Rudy Gobert, and the rest of that team is like, nah, now he's here. It's like, nah, he actually can do these things. It's just that wasn't his role on that particular team. His role's different. And people change. Like, I think people appreciate that kind of thing. That like people got to play roles on certain teams and just kind of just say what you have and what you don't have. So yeah, I've really enjoyed him on the Knicks.
I'm gonna say
I don't think they can win a title, but yeah. I like the Knicks being a good team.
That's kind of gonna be playing to one of my other ones, but I said who's gonna be the last man standing between Curry, LeBron, and Durant? Like, what order are these dominoes gonna fall in? Like, you would think LeBron's gonna retire first, but who knows? Like, Durant seems to just be getting passed like a blunt. Kind of, he is an open secret. Like, he's gonna get traded again this summer, and it's like, nigga, like, find a home, please. Like, and then Curry is like, could he like, just be like, you know what? I'm good. I'll just play out my contract and then I'm going home. I don't know. Like who basically is meeting the end of the road or their maker first? Will they all go out together? Will it be will these guys ever face off in the playoffs anymore? What meetings look like between them? We saw there's the Court of Gold documentary, the Netflix one. I watched 4 episodes of it. It's really good.
I haven't watched any of it yet. I need to.
Yeah, it's really good.
What do you think of it?
It's really good so far. Like, and I like it because it's like, it doesn't seem like it was like, and this is not necessarily like a clutch shot. It doesn't seem like this was a LeBron-led documentary. It doesn't seem like it was a documentary that focused on any particular one player. It was like, it showed us the French team. It showed us the Canadian team for an episode. It showed us like our team. It showed us like all the guys, and it was kind of like the main character is like the global basketball scene, and it's like it's not like dedicated pretty much to like, and Durant's on there. I think probably in some of the best light that I think he's been shown in, where he's literally like crying, basically talking about how much he loves basketball and what it did to save his life and everything like that. And I think this is something the league really should be kind of like pushing. Like, you're looking for victories right now. I think if you're the NBA, and this is a layup. Like, just saying, like, and we got to see LeBron, Durant, and Steph last year in the Olympics. I think that was like a really, I think that was a moment in time. Like, we'll never forget that shit.
Yeah. I, it's so funny. Like the Durant thing is like the thing that people liked about Durant to begin with was that like we knew he cared. Like when he's out, like we was out here doing like early in his career, and they were doing like the horse tournament and shit at All Star Weekend, and like the like I personally like my favorite NBA MVP speech ever, like the one you talking about his mom. They end up birthing the video, like birthing that documentary or that movie or whatever. Like, yeah, like I thought, I think that's what people liked about him was like he was somebody that would show you like his emotions and his appreciativeness and all this kind of stuff. And then like he goes to Golden State and basically had to become a numb person to deal with them. Some people calling him a coward and all this shit. Where it's like he acts like nothing ever, like he's above all of it. He doesn't care, and it's like, well, you do because we know you got burners and shit, bro. Like just be you and stop pretending you somebody else. And numb the pain of whatever of you winning that title and then like ultimately feeling. And then he told us this. He said he won that title and then say he didn't feel nothing. It's like, well, look, that's. He's honest enough. He's honest enough to tell us these things or whatever else in the moment. But then
that would happen.
And then when people point it out to him, he'll be like, nah, just hooping whatever else. This ain't just hoop for you. This shit saved your life. You didn't move and go to all the different high schools, all different academies, on other shit in Oak Hill and all that kind of shit just to because you didn't care. You cared. So, for me, that's interesting. Is like, I never saw him as a bad guy, but a lot of people do because they're fucking LeBron stans. You're on the way of blocking this. It's like, man, shut up. I don't care. I enjoyed watching that team. It's the greatest team I've ever seen assembled in an NBA on an NBA team. I appreciate I was able to see it. Now, all this other shit about your stand wars and him blocking, being able to win other titles, whatever. I don't care. I got to see for 2 years the best battle team I've ever seen assembled. Whatever. So, as far as other things I appreciate of, let's see. Let's see. It's interesting to see the Cavs be worth a damn without LeBron James. It is not the 1980s.
And it's like,
I think
it
that's
feels like
cool.
it's a better team than like anything that they've had outside the championship year. And even like, this team,
on paper it is.
Like, this team is,
I still don't.
It's built like one of those
buy
teams
them offensively
that have like two lineups or whatever, and they go like 10 deep and shit.
Yep. Which means come playoff time, they got too many guys.
Yeah.
Right. And also I'm still got Orlando Cleveland series from last year. That shit is still filthy, and I have to see that team person. I have to see Garland come through in a playoff setting, right? And I got to see their offense not like absolute shit in crunch time of playoff series before I actually fully buy those numbers. But the numbers are like James, or every single time, like these numbers don't change. They keep almost shaking me like, James, why are you not paying attention to them? But it's like I just got to see where they end up or whatever else when it comes to the Celtics, like because ultimately. Yeah, they'll get past, anybody else in the East, but they got to play the Celtics. I think the Celtics are going to beat them, but we'll see. I think only 3 teams can win a title. I think OKC and the 2 Eastern teams can win. So I'm itching to see like what it looks like come playoff time.
My next one was historic franchises, kind of with new life and hanging around, championship aspirations. Celtics, Knicks, Lakers. And then like mixing like new franchises that never won shit, like the Thunder, the Magic are rebuilding or whatever. Trying to think. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And Warriors, at this point, with the Jimmy Butler trade, they look reinvigorated. So like seeing like the glamour franchises like kind of prove it's like, hey, it was a reason for the glamour, it was a reason for the history or whatever. So the only thing, we can just get these niggas wearing like the proper historical uniforms to match. I do not want to see yellow when the Lakers go to Boston and shit. Like, I don't want to see that shit, dog. Put the purple on, nigga. Like, put the purple on and y'all niggas put the white on and let's run it. Like, and then when y'all come out just how they played last time, which I appreciated. The Lakers had the yellow on and the Celtics had the green on. I was like, this is how God intended right here. So, so run it up. God damn it. The Knicks have rarely been good in the time that I've watched the league. The days of Jerome James and like Stephon Marbury, old Allen Houston, Penny Hardaway.
Bro. Immature Zach Randolph and Eddie Curry together. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Jared Jeffries in them lineups. And then the mellow years or whatever, and then all the old guys linking up there with Rasheed Wallace, Jason Kidd, and J.R. Smith was on them teams, like the LeBron boys, essentially, him and Shumpert. And then it was like the Knicks ain't never really had it. So it's like I was very excited for the Knicks in the playoffs last year. I was like, I just want to see what happens, like see how they react to it and the fans and stuff like that. And it was really cool. But then Indiana sent them home like normal. But yeah.
I'm just gonna say it, man. Like, I'm gonna enjoy this OKC team while I still can. I think they're getting blown up this offseason.
Damn.
And it's the same shit that I think of, because it's like, we all remember 2012 at the end of Game 5 when you have Harden, Durant, and Westbrook together, and we all thought the same shit that we thought, in 95 with Penny and Shaq. Is like, well, they'll get another crack at it, right? That shit ain't guaranteed. Because
I'm actually going to see the Thunder on Friday. I got a ticket for Hawks versus Thunder.
Yeah. Hey, tell Lou Dort to stop putting his feet underneath people. But outside of that, yeah, man, like, this is a team that, like, they just have athleticism everywhere and, like, can defend all positions. And, like, Chet is a unicorn. Shea, he's a person that once the machine gets jammed up, he's gonna get the shots, whatever else. I hope he comes through in the playoffs this time. But, like, yeah, man, like, this is their bet. Like, this is their shot. This is their shot, and I don't think they're gonna get another chance if they fail to do it again. I think they'll blow this team up because they can't pay both Jalen's. So yeah, like, I think that, like, I'm enjoying that team while I still can. I don't get to watch. I haven't seen them much this year, but like but when I have, I've enjoyed watching them just like I enjoyed watching them the last 2 years. And it's like, this team ain't gonna be able to sit together. They're gonna come up with some package and some time to trade shit or whatever else to move some shit around and whatever else. And people have made the Cooper Flag stuff, whatever else, of some mother load trade that Bill Simmons cooked up. I ain't buying that shit. My point is, like, this team is presently constructed. That nucleus will not be the same going into the 2026 season. It won't. So enjoy while you can, because they're a great team. And they should have been able to play together. But we can't allow that, because if we allow that, that means that, like, the players might decide where they want to play. So we can't even let the fucking teams decide to pay the players keep them together anymore. We make it so financially unsatisfying. They have ruined the NBA. Like, they would have taken a blowtorch to those 80s Celtics in Lakers teams. They would have absolutely the fuck not. James Worthy, not a chance. You're a Laker. Norm Nixon, get the fuck out of here. Michael Cooper, not a chance. Go to hell. Michael Thompson, over my dead body, you ever been a Los Angeles Laker. Oh, Oh, Bill Walton wants to become a Celtic? Fuck no. Take your ass to the stay in the Clippers or some shit like that. Nah, man, they've ruined this league. We will not see great teams get to stay together, and they did it the right way.
Sad. I'll say the guys that nobody wants to love, that the league doesn't want to love, but the fans are clearly saying they love these guys: Trae Young and LaMelo Ball. They're not gonna get the Team USA invites. They getting locked out of All-Star teams. They're basically they're getting all the numbers. And it's like, okay, so it ain't the numbers now, and I think they're wildly entertaining. Just when you look at it from LaMelo's case, at least, I think a lot of people watch the kid grow up and go all over the world, and I think he's got a lot of fans, and I hopefully, as they take their lumps on these bad organizations, eventually they will harden up essentially, and actually contribute to actually be able to make noise in their career as winners eventually. But they're gonna take their lumps out, but I'll love them being entertaining in the process, and I ride with them.
I think this is a part of the talk debate shows and the ring culture thing has made the NBA less fun to watch. You used to be able to just tune in to watch a great player on a bad team just go be great in a losing effort. You say, oh, they lost, but he was awesome. Now we have turned it into this person's on a bad team and completely changed or completely characterized the person as a loser, even though yeah, I lost because I'm on an undermanned team. That's how this goes. I'm on a bad organization. And to be honest, we have what do you call it? We have figured out basketball in a way to where one person's contribution can be nerfed compared to what it used to be 20 years ago, right? If you had someone as good as Anthony Davis if you had a top 10 player in their prime 20 years ago, you were guaranteed a playoff seed if they stay healthy and played 70 games. That ain't the case no more, right? Wembanyama, if he had stayed healthy, they weren't. I mean, where were they?
They were lucky to. They would be lucky to make the play-in.
Look, that's my point. He's a lot closer to 5 than he is to 10. You know what I'm saying? That is how we have optimized NBA rosters at this point, to where one person, no matter how special they are, their imprint on the outcome is not nearly as significant as it used to be, even if the players are better, by and large. So that is the thing when it comes to guys they get the loser tag. I feel unfairly Trae. I think Trae should get he's a gunner tag, he's a loser. LaMelo
downright historic stats for the time he's been in the league. You can name whoever you want, as far as being a guard.
For me with LaMelo, and when I've watched him, my issues with him, it shouldn't matter if it shouldn't matter. I thought he still was an all-star. The part where he didn't make the team was nah, man. I get the thing where the votes, how they tally up or whatever else, but he should have been a starter at least. Or not, sorry, he should have been on the team at least. The part where he just completely out, it made no sense to me. No. Sure, if you want to put, if you want to put Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson in over him for starters, sure. But off the team? Nah. Do I want him on Team USA? Not necessarily. But I don't. This is kind of stuff where it's whatever the players and the coaches feel about him, they do not want them around.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there was once upon a time when you had Gilbert Arenas show up, and Gilbert Arenas, Kirk Hinrich over him. That happened. But it's you need people to play roles or whatever else. I don't think there aren't roles for someone like someone like LaMelo Ball, someone like uh uh Trae Young on an international team, because like you always need shooting, and those guys can shoot,
shooting and passing. And I could say like it's like the answers aren't going to be Curry, LeBron, and Durant anymore. Like the way USA basketball is going, like by 2028, they ain't gonna be in a position to just be telling niggas no. Like like you know what? Stay your ass out of here. When LaMelo Ball, let me see, how old is he right now? I think he is.
Was he like 23?
I think he's like 23. Hold on. He is 23 years old. So in 2028, when he's 26 and shit, like, nah, we have a certain center. Like, all right, we gonna fuck around, and
And you know what? It's not even necessarily about LaMelo in 2028. It's about like the stuff that has happened with fucking Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's never playing on Team USA again.
I would never show up again if I was him.
Like, if you treat it bad at the top, and don't be wrong, like the people that say Jason Tatum got done wrong, I'm sorry, make a fucking basket in international play. Like you got benched for a reason. He didn't make a single basket in any of the minutes he played in the games. White sat down, and you know what they played instead? They put him saying Kevin Durant and LeBron James instead. Tough shit. Sorry. So, but if that's not the side of him never playing again, I understand it. He's more than welcome to tell them to kiss his ass. He already got his gold medal, right? So, but you have something like that, and it compounds when you get to the LaMelo and Trae stuff potentially. And that's what I mean with it. Like, you are now setting the current for this to be like a potential 04 situation.
Yep.
Because we don't know what's actually coming through the pipeline over the next 2 years to try to rectify some of these situations that we're going to have post Big Three Team USA.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, like I was like, the Thunder are in town this week. I was like, I've been wanting to go see Trae since I moved up here, and I just haven't ever made it to a Hawks game. And I'm like, I'm gonna go. So like, I hope Trae drops 50. So,
boy, you might swatch a lot of free throws in that game.
Oh yeah,
between Shai and Trae, you might see a lot of free throws.
That's true.
You just might. If you do, I'm gonna keep track of this. I'm gonna keep track of it because if you do, I'm gonna send you a text. You already know I'm gonna be like, I told you why I don't like watching them niggas like that on a consistent basis.
They what the fuck was I gonna say? I can't even remember what I was gonna say, but
okay.
I think that I can't even remember it. Damn, it slipped my mind that hard.
It's
but
fine.
Yeah, it's but fine. That was my last thing. So James, one more thing you like about the league right now.
I mean, it's that time of year now, right? Like it's time of year where you're starting to get the closing stretch for playoff seeds and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to see the best basketball of the season. Like that's the thing that I think is lost in this conversation about how hard the guys try or whatever else, or how they feel they try or whatever on a night basis. It's like historically, the season has always mattered the most post All-Star game, March and April. When you start seeing like these teams realize that they're going to have to see each other at some point in the playoffs, and they want to have, they want to have home court advantage. They want to have a psychological advantage. They go out there and play basically a playoff level game on national television on Thursday or over, now Saturday nights or whatever else. And those are the most fun games of the season. Historically watching it, covering it, or not covering, covering it. Well, we kind of cover, but following the NBA my whole life is like those games. So like we are now at the best part of the season actually, and people are lose sight of that. Like when they're talking about the guys don't care, it's like save that until like the part where it matters the most for the season actually matters. Like don't get me wrong, like. Even if it was baseball, I say the same thing. Like, bro, you getting charged about how hard these teams are trying in April. No, man, care about that shit in August. That's when it matters the most. So yeah, I don't even know what the slate is for what Thursday is on TNT, but I'll suffer through whatever Kenny and I'm sorry, whatever Barkley and Shaq got to say to watch it, but I'm sure it'll be a good one. I'm sure it'll involve the Lakers at some point too. Let me check.
Yeah.
Should that see another thing we're excited for? This is the last year inside the NBA.
Oh, that's gonna be wonderful. Get NBA
Oh,
on NBC
man.
back. Oh my god, that's gonna be awesome.
Here they might be hiring Arenas.
Yes, and they already have Reggie Miller.
Yeah, people hate Reggie Miller on Twitter every time he calls games.
I've always looked. Reggie Miller is one of my favorite players.
But they
ever.
also hate Weber too. They hate both of them, and I'm like,
I wonder why.
I'm fine.
I wonder why. Like Chris Webber is awesome. So is Miller, bro. Like it's like
I've never had an issue with either of them. But like on Twitter is like a negative space. Like everybody sucks. Even Tony Romo fucking like the only person that does suck as a commentator that used to be a player is like Greg Olson. That's it. Like people don't like Romo now. And Romo was like, yo, he came out and was like, yo, I can't believe this guy was that good to begin with. Like he's still nothing's changed. It's just you listen to a commentator say, there's only so many ways you can say things during the game or whatever else. And now it's like, oh, okay, I've grown annoyed, and I'm on Twitter and I'm watching, negative feedback loop.
I wonder if NBC is going to bring back Dwayne Wade because he worked the Olympics.
That would make sense. Okay, so Rich, check this out. TNT on Thursday. Nuggets Bucks 8:00. 10:30. Timberwolves Lakers. Be back, bro. This the time of the year. You're at that time of the year. So this is gonna be fun.
So I guess we can wrap it up, man.